Well, talking a couple of stars joined at the hip, let's talk about Oasis next. All of the UK and Ireland dates for their reunion tour have now sold out in less than a day, since 9 a.m. on Saturday, when the shows in Edinburgh, London, Cardiff and Manchester went on general sale. It was an hour earlier for fans in Ireland. Plenty of others have aired their frustrations of being kicked off ticket-selling websites, and also because of dynamic pricing, where prices were much higher than originally advertised. One fan who is hugely frustrated about that process is content strategist and writer Helen Barnett. Good to see you, Helen. What happened yesterday then? Tell us all.
So I thought I did everything right. I had logged in the night before, had got my credit card details saved on my account. I'd got the tabs ready to click join the waiting room. And as soon as you click, obviously, everyone's doing the same thing. You're in a huge queue. I know lots of people are even just queuing just to get onto the website. So in a queue on a waiting list of, say, I think it was about 80,000 in front of me. Finally, after 4 hours, I got to the front of the queue, had my dates there and clicked to pay the usual £148 general admission to Manchester. And it just said, not happening. Those tickets aren't available. So I went to the next one down, which included a coach from Sheffield, which I wouldn't need, but it was £50 more. I thought, acceptable, I will just about be able to do that. Again, it just kept saying something's wrong, there's an error. And then eventually the page refreshed and those tickets had all gone, and all you could get was a in-demand ticket for £355, which is more than double, as you can quickly do the maths. I was thinking, what's in demand pricing? Clicked on the information and it just says, well, this is due to high demand. We can change the price to the market value is what we see at the moment, which is ludicrous, really, because what did they expect? Did they not expect the demand? So, you're sat there on the website thinking, what do I do? And I just couldn't justify spending that amount of money. So unfortunately, I was one of the many that didn't get tickets and had the same situation.
But, I mean, many millions. Let's dissect it for a second, Helen, because I think there was, in total across the dates that they've announced so far, because there's probably going to be some more you'd expect, they sold something like 1.4 million tickets. We hear that there were 7 million people trying to get on to buy them. So look, do you have any sympathy for the likes of Ticketmaster, who, by the way, are not speaking publicly about this, or they have put out a statement, they're certainly not talking directly to us about this? Do you have sympathy that deluge of millions of people going online at one time, it's almost like an organised internet attack? So do you have some sympathy with the difficulty of managing that?
I think we were all prepared for a long wait and chaos, which is definitely what happened. There were other ticket websites you could go on, but you couldn't even get through onto the homepage. It was just impossible. So, everyone was prepared for a bit of a battle and, testing their patience. But it's a kick in the teeth when you actually get through after hours of waiting with no expectation that the price is going to be over double. So it really was frustrating for all fans who were in that situation. Some people I know paid it, but very few. And I think, was that out of pressure because they'd finally got through onto the website, or were they prepared to pay that amount of money in the first place? I'm not sure.
Let me set this some context, because that standard price, around 150 quid, when Blur, funnily enough, let's just pick a band out of the air, Blur, played Wembley Stadium last year, it was 95 quid to stand. So Oasis already charging 50% more for the same kind of experience. Do you think the band themselves should say something about this, and especially, as you say, that dynamic pricing of just bumping the price up by double when you get to the end of the process?
So as I understand it, it's down to the event organizer to turn on or off this in-demand pricing. That's what Ticketmaster says on their website. So it's not Ticketmaster saying we're going to just basically profit from it, or they are profiting.
But they facilitate this, don't they? I mean,
they allow it to happen.
Option. Yeah,
it is. And so artists can turn it on and off, as I understand. So Oasis have said, yes, we're happy for that to happen, which is really frustrating, especially because, like you say, Blur were cheaper last year, but Oasis have always been quite reasonable. I saw them in 2005 in Manchester, And I mean, I can't remember the exact amount, but I think it was between £35 and £40 after booking fees. And that was, just to put that into context, the year before I'd seen the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and that was £50, £55. So, you know, a big band, they were actually trying to do reasonable pricing. So £148, I think we all still had a bit of trust that they were trying to be reasonable.
I hate to tell you, Helen, I saw them in 1994 for £6, but if they'd suddenly doubled it to 12, my pocket money really wouldn't have stretched that far. Helen, listen, commiserations. Look, there's a lot of rumbling about they've sold these out in a day, whether they went about it in the right way or not. You'd like to think there may be other dates announced. So fingers crossed for next time, if, of course, you're still a fan of the band. It sounds like that is in the balance. Helen, thank you very much indeed. Good to see you. You are watching Sky News, still to come here.